Hey guys, Stealth here and welcome back to Arms Trade Tycoon, episode 6 for the Interwar. I have a problem. Everybody seems to want FT-17s, and I don't have them. The closest thing that I have is the Duck, but what most of these clients really desire is quite a decent mix of firepower and armor. And if you look at the front thickness of that's the lower hull, I don't have anywhere near that on the Duck. I also don't have anywhere near that on the turret. Now, I can re-engineer this tank. I can make it have more armor. But having more armor doesn't strictly just use up that 6k. It'll also require a better engine to make sure that this thing also achieves its required mobility stat. Right now, it's not even getting up to the mobility that the client wants. And, well, frustratingly, I don't have what they want. And it's not the first contract, because I've had a couple of contracts that have had this. That just go, yeah, no, sorry, we want the FT-17. And you can see sort of in the background that that's what they want. Now, my hope is that my engineering department is going to help me out here. Because what the engineering department's working on is a dual cupola turret. And ideally, I would have researched one previous, but I kind of decided to skip over that. That's the hemispherical universal. This one allows you to have both a main gun and a coaxial mount. What I'm currently researching is a slightly bigger one. And this one is going to have a decent level of protection. So hopefully it will have at least somewhere in the... No, it has nowhere near the armor protection that they want. But I can still change that by using a better armor quality, which is also coming up at some later date. As for the other thing that I'm researching, the bogey mid-pass tracks. With those, I'm hoping to get another tank into the field at some point. Because there is another tank that I'm currently working on. It's just that I recently unlocked the hull, and there's not that much that I can do with it yet. It's the Medium Mark III. This is one potential iteration for it, and unfortunately it is not capable of going up to what the client wants. Because my tank is 32 tons, and what they seek is 21 tons. That's a problem. I don't have anywhere near that range. Now the Duck can't do it either. The Duck's too light, and the Duck does not have a coaxial mount. So a Duck... Oh, sorry, that's not the Duck. Here's the... Yeah, here, that is the Duck. The Duck can't do it, because it's essentially too light, and you cannot armor it up to sufficient ranges. So this tank too is not what they want. And this is problematic, because these are big contracts. There's a lot of money to be had. And I'm running out of money. At least... not yet, but give it a few months, and I will. So I'm really hoping that the engineering department is going to proc one of those breakthroughs, allowing me instant access to the new technology, and with that, get a tank that is what the clients want. Thankfully, they do want the Heavy Independent V1. This is a new tank that I've engineered, and as you can see, it still has flaws. This is still something I have to rectify, but I can submit it to the contract. And with that money, I can keep going for quite a while. So let's see what makes this thing good or not so good. I mean, the mass is a problem. Crew performance is a problem. Protection is very good. Interesting. Like, you're getting a difference of 6 stat points or 6 attribute points, but the game then goes, yeah, no, that's worth 162 points. Okay, fine. Firepower hard. We carry... just about the amount of shells that they want. We have apparently also decent enough accuracy, decent enough kinetic pen. Yeah, this tank is good enough. I want to see what the competitors are offering. The Vulcan Mark II and the Vulcan Mark III. They're ranging 250 only. That's pretty low. So I can push this thing at fairly exorbitant rates. Make 3.7 million on that tank. I just have never built one, so I'm going to push this down a bit, the amount of time. How much? 20,000 man hours in that. Compare that to one of these. Like the frigates is 13 and this is 16, so this is going to be the biggest tank that I've ever built. Let's not overplay it too much. Let's say I can get this done in 3 months. And I do want you to pay a little more. There. So that stands to make 3.7, which would double my bank account. Okay. Let's get this thing through the proving ground, remove any failures that it has. That's 57k for a proving ground test. And start producing at least a few of them. Because I'm expecting that this contract will go through. And when it does, I need to be ready for that. I don't need that. I need... No, I don't need that. I haven't really sold any of the LKs, I think. Yeah, none. Not a very good selling tank. This one is 60 tanks. 15 tanks there. And this one sold 291. So, ironically, the Heavy Mark 1... sorry, the Heavy Mark 8 from the Tier 1 series is currently the best one that I'm offering. Okay. So this is what we're going to be building. Yeah, let's go for a build of 20. Let's hope it doesn't cost me too much. It's going to take me 45 days, which is in line with what the contract has. So if that works, if that goes through, that should be fine. I'm also still reverse engineering another tank. And I kind of forgot about her. There she is. I'm not sure if there's a whole lot to be done with the A7V. I first want to reverse engineer every bit on this tank. And I'm almost done. I just need the central cab. And then I can make interesting variations on the design that the Germans have made. Great news! Italy accepted the contract. Thank you. They want 34 tanks. I'm already working on 20 tanks, so I still need to do 14 on the other line. That's pretty doable. Provided, of course, that I have enough resources. So we're going to be building another 14 tanks. It's going to take me 42 days. I do have enough resources. And I still have... I still have decent. I still have decent supplies. So that's good. Excellent. As for the reverse engineering, 13 days from now, we'll have completely reverse engineered the A7V. And we can have a look at what we can do with that. They want an LK2 Ausführung A. I don't have anything that looks like that. But I can potentially make one. I'm just not sure if I can design it in time. Let's see, if I can design a tank that's exactly up to their spec. What is it that they want? What exactly do they want me to build? It has to have frontal 18, sides... Oh, sorry, no, it has frontal 16. Just typing this up in a notepad. Side 16, rear is 12. I'm not sure this thing even has a turret. It does. Okay. So for the turret, we need a frontal of 16, a side of 14, and a rear of 14. The turret's a bit more heavily armored. Okay, fine. As for firepower, we are looking at having 13 ammo. So 13 ammo. It apparently also needs to have a secondary weapon. Protection, yeah, stealth is fine. It needs to have a road speed of 17. Okay, road speed 17. And cross-country is going to be 16. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong column here. It needs to be 18. 18 road speed. The first column is what they want. The second column is what you are offering. Okay. And then a crew performance of 85. So crew 85. All right, let's see over in the design bureau. Can we make something exactly what the client wants? Because I have had these contracts every once in a while. So I want to see if I can actually make that work. Let's go over to the engineering. And this thing is still using wrought iron. That's a bit old. Let's go with steel. Let's make sure it has better protection. If that does not come at an exorbitant price to the mass of the tank. We're going to go with a glass-clad slit. That sounds very fragile on a tank. You don't want glass bits flying around in your tank, right? Or is that just me? As for this, I think, yeah, doesn't really matter. Type of door. Armor protection. They wanted it to have front armor of 16. We're already at 18. If I drop it down to RHA, oh, we're still stuck at 18. Okay, fine. Does this make it heavier? It does. Okay, side thickness needs to be 16. We need to have 12 rear thickness. Done. So that's one part of the tank. Go back to design. For the turret, I'm going to go with the... Yeah, I think the standard Sturmpanzer turret. Does that have enough protection? 14, 12, and 12. And they were asking 16, 14, 14. So no. We're going to have to make something new. Thankfully, that is what we do here. So this way, it's going to have to be better armor. It's going to have 16 and 14 and 14. I'm not really counting top thickness. As long as I can get a few of them right, that should be fine. Bolted assembly, let's make sure it gets the tier 2. And then turret hatch 1, 2, 1, 3. There. Okay. Then that should have both the turret protection as well as the lower hull protection done for. Next, we're going to have to see what sort of engine we need and what sort of tracks we need. I think we're just going to have to go with the base Leichtwagen tracks. And then toss in an engine. I think this is the original one, but we're already getting quite close to what they have as a maximum. Where's the one on the turret? There. That's going to be a Vickers. Or sorry, a Lewis. Lewis is fine. I really haven't looked that much into machine guns. I really haven't researched any new ones either. And then for a secondary machine gun, I'm just going to have one over there. We are approaching mass, but it's still fine. Mobility. Road speed is now 15. They wanted 18. Can I sink a better engine into this thing? 17. Cross-country speed is 12. They wanted 16. We need a new engine. Fun. Okay, let's go make a new engine. Because I do have quite a few new parts now. This is still using a Tier 1 Mark II. I have a Tier 2 Mark 1. We're going to do that here as well. Upgrade all those parts. There. The hell? For some reason, my assistant decided to join the party. That was weird. Okay, so there's the new engine. With that new engine, we're getting a road speed of 19 and a cross-country speed of 10. That's not good enough. I should have looked at the stats there. Cross-country speed of 10. Which of these stats impacts cross-country? Trench width, obstacle sloping, power units, operational range, no. Road speed, cross-country speed. Right now we're using one that has a 6 and an 8. Seems to be pretty decent to me, but apparently it's not good enough. Right now we're getting a road speed of 28. That's a lot. But it might actually be too much. And I'm not seeing the cross-country speed move at all. Yeah, no, it dropped to 1. Holy shit. Go off-road and you're just stuck. Okay, so cross-country speed 4. I need to have something with a higher cross-country speed. And that would be the crash gearbox. Okay, fine. We'll just save that as is then. Back to the design, please. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. I think this is pretty close to what they want, right? This would ideally suit them quite well. Now, unfortunately, I don't think I can actually fully engineer this. Not in due time, of course, but I think it's a good test. Let's just seal off those ports. Save. Because although it was said in the comments, I don't think you can... No, you cannot submit a blueprint. You cannot do that. Unfortunately. And if I would want to engineer this, that would take 22 days. Oh, sorry, design this. But I still have to engineer 1, 2, 3 parts. So that's never going to work. Because this is going to take 12 days. And is that using the... Yeah, that's using the reinforced stuff. Okay. I still also need to do that for the better engine. So edit that in engineering. Engineer. It's going to take another 72 days. Oh, I don't have enough engineers. Fine. Let's go hire some more engineers. I need more people to work on these lines. About 25 should be right. Because I'm also reverse engineering parts. It's making it a lot more difficult. So 41. There you go. 29. It's never going to fit in time. But at least we should be able to get something that looks like what they want. So that when they come knocking next time, we'll have something for them. And it might not benefit me this time around, but my engineers are getting paid anyway, right? So there's not like I'm having a whole lot to do. Oh, breakthrough. How about that? And another breakthrough. That's fairly extraordinary. In that case, I just need to engineer a little bit more. Like the Sturmpanzer turret. If we can get a breakthrough there, that'd be delightful. 1 Mark III, yes. Oh, it's going to take me 20 days. That's not going to work. It's not going to fit, unfortunately. Unless I get a breakthrough. The Ottomans want 47 new tanks. The Ottomans are built... They want another FT-17. Dude, I don't sell those. Even though I would really want to. But I don't have those. Reverse engineering is done. Excellent. So what can we do with the A7V? How can I butcher that thing? How can I butcher this land ship? Create a component. Right now, I'd probably use all sorts of old armor. But that's not really the point. It, I think, had a Ricardo i6 in it. 150 horsepower engine. I can go as high as having a Liberty V12 in there. This should give it fairly decent road speed. 29 road speed. Sure. I doubt it. Can we add an actual turret? No, you can add a central cab. So you can add this part or the bigger central cab. Fine. Tracks-wise, we have either the Uberlandwagen. This has a maximum transporting of about 33.5. Or the Kinotar for 26. So we're already way over that. Okay, fine. Let's go for the Uberlandwagen. And then it's going to be just machine guns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 machine guns. No, sorry. 1 main gun. Let's make sure that's at least the better gun that we have. Which I believe was... It's still tier 1? I need to work on my guns. Which one was it? Oh, it's a 6-pounder. Yeah, it's fine. Machine gun. Out the back. I want to have at least machine guns out the sides. So let's put a Vickers there. Put a Vickers there. Put a Vickers there. And there. And maybe just seal these holes up. Just put some armor in there. Let's make sure that nothing gets behind this tank. Ever. This thing... What am I building? A tank or a bus? How many crew members does this need? It doesn't even need that many crew members, really. Looking at one commander. Looking at a gunner. Gunner. And then a gunner loader commando. Or a combo. And then 2 mechanics. So, done. That's remarkably easy. I can have 7 crew members manning this, whereas I can have 15. That's quite a lot. Shells. Let's go with the capped one. It's the best one I can have. Steel core. Let's go with leaded fuel and the standard automotive stuff. But I first need to engineer this, of course. Unfortunately, engineering is already working on one part, so I can't do much yet. Oh, look at that. I can have all sorts of armored cupolas here. Yeah. You call that a cupola? Okay, fine. Let's improve the armor. Let's make sure that this thing's put together a little safer. Give it a better viewport. And when it comes to the door, I think it doesn't matter that much. Like it's a tier 2 or tier 2. Go with this. Front thickness 32, side thickness 32. Maybe we can up armor this thing a little bit. If I want to make this thing like 34, 34, 34. I'm not sure if my tracks will carry that. Maybe. Maybe they will. Go back to the design. Let's check. Yeah, they'll carry that. Okay, excellent. I think the engine is pretty much as good as it can be. Because I have engineered this thing to be up to spec with the latest standards. As for the rest, we wouldn't really need to engineer that much. And we'd have a better A7V. That supposedly can go really fast. If that's still true. Road speed 21, crossroad speed 20. This brick is going to be faster than some of the ducks that I've made. That's weird. Okay, let's go for it. Let's let's assume that's a thing. Okay. Maybe we can make that work. A few weeks later, we finally have that new turret. So it's only fair that the duck is going to be the Duck Mark II, if you will. And this one is going to have an interesting turret. Look at the size of that thing. I think this tank might be top heavy regarding the amount of armor that we're putting on there. If I would want to put... Yeah, I think I already put more armor onto this thing. Let's say I want to have another design of this. Because they might want something that's really heavily armored. And right now it's just doing, what, 16, 12, 12, 12. So it might have a decent turret at some point. It's just gonna have not a lot of armor on said turret. 10. Yeah, let's not do that. As for the type of tracks, I still have the Satyr, I still have the Warhorse. That's really the only things I can use. I can use the Satyr V3, giving me up to 16k. And then we're gonna have, let's see, something fast. Road speed right now is 29. That's interesting. I don't have an engine. How is my road speed 29? Toss in a 150 horsepower engine. Road speed 25. That's pretty good. Operational range is a bit low. Horsepower 15 power to weight ratio bonus. Good. I still can add a little bit, but I really can't. The reason is I haven't added the armor yet. And if you don't add the armor yet, well, you're going to find that it just doesn't really work. Simply because you'll have lots and lots of weight when it comes to armor. Let's just add all these bonuses on. This is the better radio. This is the better ventilation. Here, Mark IV. Maintenance. Tier 2, Mark IV. Tier 2, Mark IV. Tier 2, Mark III. The glass-clad stuff. Protection. This is where things are going to get interesting. Just look at how quickly this ramps up. If I want to armor this thing up pretty decently, like 25, 20, 20, you're looking at an 8,000 ton tank. Well, fine, an 8-ton tank. Versus 6.8. So we're gaining quite a lot of weight on this tank. I'm just hoping that with that, it can still kind of live up to the contract that some people want on it. Medium. Let's say this is the 24mm version. I'm not sure if that'll fit inside the design. I'm not sure if that will fit with the tracks. Yeah, we're too heavy. That's the problem exactly. I can fit in a smaller engine. That's going to come at the expense of horsepower, of course. And with that, road speed. This engine's even heavier. This engine is 3,000. We can add a Lancaster engine, but that'll make it underpowered. So I think my design simply has too much armor. There's also this one. But yeah, we're grossly underpowered. Operational range 2. This thing's not going anywhere. Fine. We'll add the Ricardo i6. The V3, that is. Maybe we can make a slightly better design of that? Let's check. Right now, this engine weighs 3,069. I want to see if I can get lower than that. To see if it'll fit in the tank better. But I think it already has the top tier everything. Yeah, it does. That's unfortunate. Crap. Okay, so I cannot actually fit a better engine. That means I'm going to have to go back into the design for the main hull and adjust that instead. So we're going to remove that one. I don't need that draft anymore, really. We'll just have to go into the engineering and adjust all that armor. But then the tank can barely fight. That's my biggest concern with her. She might not be able to fight, at least not up to what the contract or contractors would want, because ideally I'd sell this thing to more than one client, of course. Yeah, we're still overweight. That's without a gun, even. Put that in. The V2, please. And put a Hotchkiss in. Yeah. We need to strip 500 from this tank. Let's see if we can make the turret a little lighter. Yes. Can we make the turret a little lighter? Currently it weighs 1380. Let's make sure it has some antennas on it. Let's have this. And let's put the armor on there. Yeah, that's a little better. If you can then armor this thing up without making it extraordinarily heavy, that'd be great. Bit more frontal thickness. Because we are kind of making progress when it comes to weight on the tank. We saved some weight here, if I'm not mistaken. That thing was 3K, right? Oh, did I completely mess that up? Yes, I completely messed that up. The thing was way lighter. It was 1628. I made it far heavier. Engineering tanks is fun. Sometimes. So, I need to strip that armor away. And I think that when it comes to just competing with these contracts, it's better to, well, hope that I can capture an FT-17. Reverse engineer that and sell that to clients, because the rate at which I'm currently trying to fix my tanks to, well, do what the client wants, we're just not getting there. We're just not getting to what the client wants. I'm still too heavy. Has to do with the gun, I suppose. And a Lancaster would make it underpowered again, wouldn't it? Yeah. Oh, sometimes this game is quite tricky in what you can and cannot do. Remove that draft. So that would be this one. Like, we're not even a little over, we're 800 kilograms over. If I add different tracks, I guess you could fix that. Like, you could add the Warhorse, but then you're looking at a completely different tank. Something that's probably going to be more difficult to maintain. If I go for the centipedes, like, yeah, you could, I guess, give this thing. Yeah, so I guess that would work. It still has road speed. But we're trying to make this thing into something, into something it's not supposed to be. Really not supposed to be. And that is all to do with the tracks. If you go with tracks and then maybe just close these things off entirely, can you do that? Like put an armored plate in there? Yeah, I guess this could work. At least we could potentially put a heavier engine in it, if we have one. I don't think we have. No. We don't have anything heavier. Road speed, 17. Cross country, 17. So it's not terrible. It's not terrible. And it does have both the main turret and the coaxial. Or the main gun and the coaxial. We could actually make this thing a little heavier now. I really need better tracks for these tanks, because this is starting to look a little weird. Let's see, we were at what? Like 7,000. We can go up a little. I'm going to make it around 21. Something in that ballpark. So we're kind of competing with the FT-17. Yeah, we still got room to improve. So now I can armor up the turret again. And let's go for something like this. 15, 15, 15. The problem is they probably want a heck of a lot more than what I'm currently offering them. What are we at? 20 tons. Almost 21 tons. Yeah, I guess we're getting closer. I'm just going to save this thing. I'm not going to fully engineer it yet. I want to see if another one of those contracts comes up and see if I can then use it. And boom, 2 days later, here we are. So in this case, what they want, and I'm mostly looking at the amount of firepower and protection, they want to have 31 frontal thickness. I can't possibly armor this thing up to have that much armor, right? That's just too much. Because if I would have to armor this thing up to what? 31 inches? Or 31 millimeters? You can go that high. But I can guarantee you that this tank won't be fast anymore. 31, 31, 31. Okay. Back to design. Yeah, save that. I think our armor's just too heavy. 23 tons. Yeah, and that's not even counting the turret yet. Because my turret is woefully under-armored for what they want. 32? Dude. That's, sliders don't even go up that high. Yes, save that. Just for funsies. And now you're looking at a 24-ton tank. Which the contractor is going to go, oh, it's too heavy. Then again, this of course was never really a viable contract or a viable tank. Anyway, I want to finish up that A7V and drive that around to tracks. Alright, here goes, the land ship. Will this thing actually reach some decent speeds? Well, I'm not disappointed. This box is actually behaving decently. I don't think it's quite getting up to the advertised speed, but maybe with the proving grounds I can still shake some of that speed back in. Oh, we're kind of crossing a trench here. Weird tank. It's also not that likely to fit any contract, because I think time has moved on. Doctrines have changed. And it seems that people want lighter tanks, faster tanks, rather than this monstrosity. That, well, regarding its size, actually moves fairly quickly. Not disappointed. When it comes to guns, it is a little weak, because you only got that little swivel on the turret, and that's all you're getting. So when it comes to dealing with infantry, you're going to have to do that with your side mount machine guns. But well, I can't complain. Seems to do that fairly well. Okay. Maybe there's hope yet for the A7V. I'll just keep this thing stored as a design, and who knows, maybe we can eventually sell one of these. Alright, that'll be it for the day. I have at least sold a couple of those new tanks, and I'm building another couple just to have them in store, the Heavy Independents. So I'm back up to 5 million, thankfully, and now I'm just eagerly awaiting the arrival of a new contract for a tank that I actually can fulfill, because I want to make more money. Hope you guys enjoyed the series so far. Let me know what your thoughts are down below, and I'll see you soon for episode 7.